on Shades Off for Sunday at Monmouth Park. A little bit of an echo in here, but that's what happens when you shoot on a staircase and on a landing and you're sitting on a stool on the staircase and everything else. But we like all these weird visuals at Monmouth Park. All the caverns and the nooks and crannies at an old racetrack. Not a cookie cutter racetrack, an old racetrack. How cool is this to actually work in this environment? I truly love it. In race number 1, number 3, Sunset District lost ground. It was against Pace and Bias in his debut. He has a pedigree to improve with experience and should get first run on the heavy favorite. In race 2, number 2, Son of the Sun is a Maryland racehorse, fresh and working well for trainer Claudio Gonzalez, who's won and placed off a similar profile in the last 2 racing days. The early daily double play is the 3-4 with the 2. In race 4, number 7, Penny's Appeal has been plagued by a distinct lack of pace flow in each of her last 3 turf sprints. She finally should get some here and also will appreciate the stretch to 5.5 furlongs. Number 8, Angel's Way, and number 11, Zool Baby also should benefit from the likely scenario. In race 8, number 1, Press Baron is a well-rested old class horse getting good again. He has the speed to get good position here, but the cutback to 1 mile will really help him as well. He had to do it on the lead last time out. He'll be able to sit in this race from close up, and that's the trip he favors. Speaking of favor, number 6, Favor Factor, had a horrendous trip at Belmont, but he wants to run longer than this. In race 10, the Dan Horn Handicap, I remember Dan Horn on the Liver Chestnut, who won many stakes races on turf at Monmouth Park, both against Jersey Breds and against Open Company, a son of a Gordon, a top sprinter of the late 50s or early 60s, I believe. But Dan Horn, his son, was a turf router. In the addition this year, the 5, Cockaway, had traffic issues for much of his need at last and switches back to his win jockey, who rode him patiently last year to victory at the Meadowlands. Number 3, Chummel, has much room to improve and just might be too good for these. Number 10, First to Put Off, is cycling forward. In race 11, the grade 3 Pegasus, number 2, Lynx, was very wide and hard used, wearing down a 1-10 odds favorite who had been plenty competitive in stakes company previously. Lynx also ran at least as well as the 4 Ring Weekend when the 2 met at Gulfstream Park in February, both running against the bias. I like the former's expected odds, while the latter had an impossible trip in the Preakness, but should be more aggressively ridden here. Number 1, Uncle Si, could get a stressful trip in this matchup from this post at a short price.